Personalized products are extremely popular and they're a great way for you to stand out within your niche on platforms like Etsy. And in this video, I'll show you how to sell these personalized products by using Printify. So to give you an idea what these actually look like, I thought I'd give you a few examples. And this way, you can also get some inspiration and some ideas of your own. So this first listing is Mia promoted to Big Sister 2022. And the intention here is that the customer can personalize the name at the top, Mia, and the year at the bottom, 2022. This is a best-selling item, and the listing is fairly straightforward. I mean, there's a size guide attached and the primary thumbnail, and you can add the personalization down here. See how it says, please enter name and year. This is what you type into this box before you place an order. And think about it, this sort of idea can be sort of expanded upon in so many different ways. So you could say promoted to mum, promoted to mum of twins, promoted to big brother, cousin, to aunt, grandpa. Like there's many different ways to spin this, and the whole promoted to thing can also apply to other niches besides just, you know, families, babies, that sort of thing. So this is, I think, a great listing to take inspiration from. Next up, we've got a set of mugs, and these are really cool. They're for the travel and camping niche, and you can customize them quite a bit. It's sort of a step to take it further. So in this case, if we look through this, you've got the camper at the top, which you can change the color for or personalize the color for, the name obviously of the person, and this bottom line can be changed as well. Really good looking mock-ups, by the way. It even says Etsy's pick right here, which obviously shows it's doing well. I think selling sets of mugs is definitely a good thing to try on Etsy. I've sold quite a few of them, not personalized, but having some matching sets of mugs for him and her is definitely a really cool strategy to go down. Next up, we've got a really advanced listing when it comes to personalization. Whilst this would take a long time to set up and configure properly, I still wanted to show it to you because it demonstrates what's possible, and it definitely gives you some good inspiration. This is for babies, and it says loved and protected by my best friends Nelly and Teddy, and it has the dogs, like the family dogs on there, which you can also personalize, which is the cool thing right here. So if you flick through further, there is a long list of different dog graphics. So depending on which breed you have, if you type it into the box before purchasing, these are the graphics that they will print along with your chosen names, which is really cool. Takes a long time to set up, but it's definitely, you know, set to stand out in search results, and you probably won't have that much competition. So the first step to creating your own personalized product is creating a base design. And in this case, it doesn't matter what software you use, but I would recommend that you only create the design without the variable words. So if you've got a certain graphic at the top and the name is supposed to be underneath, just leave the name out of the design. We're going to do that after in Printify to make it way easier when orders actually come in. So create a base design, look for some inspiration, come up with some of your own ideas as well. And once you've got that, we'll move on to Printify. If you're not signed up to Printify yet, there will be a link in the description where you can create a free account. And once you've done that, the first step is connecting to your Etsy store, which you can do in the top right corner. Just click on Add New Store and then click Connect to Etsy right here and follow the instructions that pop up. Once you finish that process, you will need to head back up to the top right and then click on Manage My Stores. Then click on the Settings tab for the store that you want to sell the personalized items with. Head into the Preferences tab, and now you want to scroll down a bit and enable Manual Order Approval. This is important because once a new order is placed, we need to make some changes to it before it actually gets printed. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and click Save for these changes to take effect. Moving on from that, you need to head over to the menu and hover over Catalog right here, and then locate the product type or category that you want to sell. So in my case, that's kids t-shirts. I'm going to select the Gildan 5000B right here. And then once you found your product, you need to choose a production partner. I'm going to select Swift PD for that and click on Start Designing. And now it's time to drag and drop your base design onto the product of your choice. You can select different colors right here. I'm going to choose green, red, and blue, I think are good, as well as black. Black's always a good option, and white I'm going to deselect in this case. So here we've got just a simple silhouette of a dinosaur at the top, and underneath is where we're now going to add the placeholder text for the name that people will personalize. In order to do that, click on Add Design right here. Click on Custom Text. Change the color of the text so you can actually see it on the design. Now I'm going to, first of all, change the font because the base one, Roboto, is not that fancy. Let's actually go for Lolita right here. That's a nice sort of childish one. And I'm going to change this to Harry Saurus. That is too big, so we need to size this down. There's a few different ways to do it. You can decrease the font with this right here, or you can use the bounding box to size it down quite quickly like so. You can also center this, that would be recommended. And now we've got a text box and a design at the top. Obviously here the idea is that people will submit their name, and then we'll swap out Harry with whatever name people have submitted, and Saurus stays the same at the end. So that's it for the design. Then you want to click on Save Product and configure the rest of your listing. Once you're done with that, click on Publish right here at the bottom, so this design actually gets pushed into your Etsy store. Once you've located the new listing in your Etsy store, you want to go ahead and edit this. Scroll down a little bit to where it says Personalization, then click Add. And now this is the message box that customers will see just before they enter their custom text. And this is quite important. You have to enter something right here that people understand quite easily. So in my case, I would put add your child's name. If it's Harry, we will print Harry Saurus. That makes it nice and obvious what's actually going to happen. And the longer the name, the smaller the printed text will be. Because if you think about it, if someone has a really long name and then also adds Saurus to the end, obviously you'll have to make it quite small to fit the print area. So in order to not have people disappointed, you want to make quite clear what's actually going to happen and how to submit the information that you need properly. Another format you could use right here to make it as simple as possible if you have multiple customization options is this. So enter your text, could be option A, then option B could be enter text color. So if you want to let people customize the color of the font, for example, and option C right here is send photos via the Etsy message function, because you can also use photos as part of the personalization options. However, people can't directly upload them with the order. They will have to message you afterwards, so you have to make people aware of it. Think of a very easy to understand, coherent format for people to enter the information into that box right there on your listing page. And once you've entered this right here, just go ahead and click on Publish Changes. Once someone has placed an order, it will be imported into your Printify account and placed on hold. And what you need to do next is head over to My Products. Then you want to duplicate the placeholder product or design that we just published to Etsy. You want to go ahead and edit this design, the copy, and change the text layer right here to suit whatever data was submitted. So in my case, that would be Jerry Saurus, and then hit Save Product down here. You don't want to actually publish this one, you just want to save it as a draft. Now, if we head back into our Orders tab, click into this and then Edit Order right here, we can now delete the placeholder design and add the product we just customized with the name Jerry right here. Make sure to select the right size and color, and then follow the steps to actually submit the order for printing. Here are a few important tips that you need to consider when selling personalized products. First of all, your description needs to be very clear and actually explain to people how the personalization works, what you're going to print, and what the customer can customize to their liking. So the clearer your description in that sense, the better and the higher the conversion rate will be as well. You can look at other listings that are best sellers in these sort of categories to get some inspiration and to show you what the best practices are. I would also recommend adding to your description that some of these orders are going to take a bit longer because they are personalized, because you have to always edit the listing. You might not be able to send them to print straight away a few hours later, and people need to be made aware of this in case you have some delayed shipments. And lastly, quite an important factor to these personalized items is that you don't really want to offer refunds or returns, because once they've got someone else's name and details on it, you're not going to be able to resell that t-shirt or mug or whatever down the line. So disable returns, put it into your description as well. The only sort of occasion where a refund actually makes sense is if a product arrives damaged or it gets lost in the post, things like that. So that is the only exception. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this one next, where I show you various different products that Printful and Printify offer and compare their prices.